Let's be brutally honest. Bollywood talks about feminism louder than anyone, but behind the scenes, the industry has one of the most hypocritical systems running every single day. And today on Cultured Shahid, we are talking about the ugly reality nobody wants to touch: item songs. This isn't just music, this is a billion-dollar machine built on objectification, double standards, and pure commercialization. The craziest part, we consume it like it's harmless entertainment. For decades, producers have used item numbers as a shortcut to earn money, fill theaters, and market films that don't even have strong stories. And instead of fixing the problem, the industry keeps making it bigger. We celebrate these songs at weddings, parties, festivals, but if you actually listen to the lyrics or watch the visuals closely, it becomes painfully clear how women are reduced to props and commodities. And people don't even question it anymore because society has normalized it so much that nobody sees anything wrong. The truth is, item songs have existed since the earliest decades of Indian cinema, from Cuckoo and Helen dominating the 40s and 50s to Silk Smitha changing the game entirely in the 80s. The formula has always been the same: sell a woman's body, sell fantasy, and pretend it's art. Silk Smitha became a superstar, but behind the glam, she struggled with mental pressure and exploitation so badly that she ended her own life at just 35. And the cycle didn't stop. 90s brought the bold era of Madhuri Dixit and others, and by the 2000s, item songs turned into massive commercial weapons with actresses like Katrina, Kareena, Malaika, Malika Sherawat, Shilpa, Urmila, Sunny Leone, and many more, being pushed into roles built entirely on objectification. Some survived by balancing talent, but many faded the moment younger faces arrived. And the worst part is the impact on society. When lyrics like "मैं तो तंदूरी मुर्गी हूँ" or "चिकनी चमेली" become mainstream, boys start seeing girls not as humans but as objects designed for male entertainment. There was even a real incident where a 6-year-old kid harassed a girl using lines from an item song, proving how deeply this stuff is shaping young minds. Imagine a child saying things he doesn't even understand because he heard them in a song meant for adults. That's not entertainment anymore, that's cultural damage. Psychologists warn that children exposed to sexualized content too early lose boundary awareness and emotional balance, but the industry doesn't care as long as the cash keeps flowing. And why don't actresses refuse item songs? Simple: money. Samantha reportedly charged 5 crores for one song in Pushpa, while many actresses earn more in 5 minutes of screen time than character actors get for an entire film. When a song pays more than acting in the main film, the message becomes clear: talent doesn't matter, boldness sells. And that's how many struggling girls get dragged into the darker side of the industry. B-grade films, exploitation, pressure, casting couch, and contracts that destroy mental health. It's a cycle built to trap those desperate for a chance. So the real question is, how long will we pretend this is just fun or entertainment? If feminism is real and equality matters, how can we keep consuming content that turns women into products? How can actresses give empowerment speeches in the morning and dance to degrading lyrics in the evening? And how can we complain about society when we cheer for the very content that shapes society? Tell me what you think. Should Bollywood finally stop item songs completely? Should audiences reject them? Or have we normalized it so much that nobody cares anymore? Drop your opinion in the comments and keep watching Cultured Shahid, because somebody has to talk about the things everyone else wants to ignore.